week as they were trying to figure out who the starting quarterback would be for the rest of the season.
Isaiah Jackson sends off a high spiraling kick, and Orion Simpson will call for the fair catch and get it at the 10-yard line. Now you just got 5:35 left to go here in regulation. 27-3, Mount SAC leads our score here from Ventura College. I'm pretty sure at this point it's safe to say that the Mounties are well on their way to a 3-0 start here in the 2014 campaign.
I say right now with 5:35 left, run the ball down.
Run that clock
and run the clock down. Give it to Tolbert. He's been doing such a great job. They haven't had a real big stop on Tolbert. Yeah, he's been limited in this game so far, but he's done a great job just putting his head down and running like nobody's business, doing grown man work out there. So I would love to see Tolbert get some more touches and wind this game down and close it down and start off 3-0 in this season.
1st and 10 for the Mounties. They'll start at their own 10. The handoff will go to Omaris Tolbert, and he breaks a couple of tackles at the line of scrimmage and will get ahead to the 12 for about a gain of 2. If you want to look at a silver lining in this game for the Ventura College Pirates down there, you got to look at the defense only holding Mount SAC to 6 points so far here in the second half.
Yeah, they made the right adjustments defensively. Unfortunately, on the offensive end, they just couldn't find any rhythm on their drives, and of course there's been a ton of penalties on both teams, and that slows down the play, the offensive flow. There was no real comfort for Brady to spray the ball around like Allo's been doing for most of this game here for Mount SAC.
2nd down and 8. It'll be Tolbert once again, and maybe a yard that time, as Ventura's really bottled up the middle so far in this second half and been able to stop the run of the Mounties.
Yeah, like I said, they're just making their defensive adjustments as we watch Tolbert run off the field here, another back in for Mount SAC. But, there's 4.5 left to go here. If they can get a first down after this 3rd and 7, we'll see what happens the rest of the way.
4:20 left to go here in the fourth quarter. 27-3, the Mounties lead. Ball at the 13. Allo going to step up and run. Allo passed the 19-yard line, and he's awfully close to picking up a Mountie first down, and I believe he got just enough to move the chains. Yes, he did. Big-time first down for the Mounties, and now another first down will likely enable them to run out the clock.
Yeah, and this is what they should be doing right now because they don't need any more points. They don't need to take shots down the field. Chances of getting picked off, Allo's already been picked off a few times here tonight. So safe play here. You have the lead. You have more than a comfortable lead here at 27-3 with just under 4 minutes to play. So I say keep running the ball.
Looks like the Mounties are going to avoid this wacky Week 3. Grossmont upsetting Riverside. El Camino, a big win against Saddleback. Granted, Saddleback's 0-2 coming into this Week 3 matchup against El Camino. They took Riverside to double OT last week. They lost on the road at Cerritos by 3 to open up the season, and they're a battle-tested team, but El Camino having their way in that one with Saddleback as the handoff here will go to Aaron Vaughns, and Aaron Vaughns, a lot of room to the outside, gets into Ventura College territory to the 46-yard line, but another flag.
That was a very explosive run by Vaughns, though. I mean, you talk about utilizing your speed and size, another 5'8" frame on the field
5'8"
during this game, and he shows some patience and a burst of speed there. And it looks like it's going to be called back, but, positive signs for Mount SAC as they get another threat in the backfield. Absolutely. For the Mounties offense. So
Aaron Vaughns, who's usually a slot receiver for the Mounties, he had the big touchdown earlier in the second quarter, and he's done some fantastic things out of the backfield tonight for Coach Jabb's offense. Well, you talk about, some of those other scores. Fullerton bouncing back after that loss at Mount SAC last week. They beat a pretty good Cerritos team 24-21.
Yeah, that has to be a big confidence booster as well. It's always key to see how big teams respond in their next game, whether it's a big win or a big loss. Emotionally, you're drained. Physically, obviously, you're tired. And, what a big win for them today as they came off that loss last week against Mount SAC, who's just continuing to look impressive here. Each play we get to watch both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. So a well-oiled machine here is Mount SAC as they continue to do as they please for the most part tonight offensively.
Mount SAC looking to go to 3-0. They're under 2.5 minutes away from doing so. 27-3, they lead Ventura College. Second down and 15 here. Mount SAC has it at their own 15, and the pass is incomplete to the far side of the field. That time, Allo was going for Tredante Hill. And the clock will stop at 2 minutes and 8 seconds left to go, but it's going to be a joyous ride up to Walnut, California, as the Mounties are going to move to 3-0 here in 2014.
Yeah, they'll just, after this game is said and done, 2:08 left here, and they have to start game planning for Chaffee coming up.
Third and 15. Allo will drop back to pass. Going to go deep downfield for Antoine Anderson, and he caught it inside the 45-yard line of the Ventura College Pirates to the 42.
Antoine Anderson just using his wheels on that last run. 6'3", 200 pounds out of Los Angeles, California. What a great catch. An even better throw by Allo.
Just for good measure that time. Big time gain through the air, and now Mount SAC can just run out this clock and run their way to a 3-0 start like we mentioned. A much improved ball club off of last year. A team in Mount SAC last year that lost their opening game by a final of 44-20 against Saddleback is the run here with Aaron Vaughns breaking a plethora of tackles, getting inside the 30, inside the 25 to the 21. That man may be just 5'8", but he runs hard.
Another hard run by the Mount SAC back. This time it through with his speed and smarts, just running through that defensive line of Ventura.
So now a 1st and 10 for the Mounties at the Ventura College with the Well, he was just about set to take a knee, and Coach Jabs decided to call a timeout with a minute 05 left. Perhaps they didn't line up correctly in victory formation. It's a good problem to have if you have one on the offensive side of the football. But certainly somewhat of an ugly second half here for Mount SAC. Only put up 6 points on the scoreboard. 27-3 is probably going to be our final in this one. But you would have liked to see Mount SAC come out with a little bit more intensity here in the second half, despite being up by 18 going into the half.
Well, we'll go back to those penalties that have been occurring all of the second half, majority of them in the second half, and it's really halted both offenses as far as any fluidity and any, continuity, keeping the ball alive, keeping the drive alive. There's been a flag on what seems to be every other play for Mount SAC, and that's really halted what a dominating performance this is at 27-3.
As Justin Allo takes a knee here, and the Pirates were kind of going after Justin, and a little bit of John going back and forth between the Mounties and the Pirates. But all you got to do here if you're Ventura is just respect that you just took a beat down to one of the most prolific junior college programs for football in Southern California in the Mounties.
Yeah, right now, you grin and bear it. You just put this game behind you. You got the rest of the season to play for Ventura, and, you can still do a lot of positives here for the rest of the season, as this is only the third game of the season. And, Mount SAC just establishing what they can be in this division and in the conference as a top dog and a powerhouse for the whole season.
Well, with 16 seconds left to go, Allo takes a final knee, and that will do it here from Ventura College. The Mounties come up north and get a big-time victory against the Pirates. The final tonight, Mount SAC 27, Ventura College 3. Another outstanding defensive performance by the Mounties. They sack Ventura College quarterback Jalen Brady 13 times tonight. That's got to be close to a record for the Mounties. We'll get you caught up on that in the post-game show. But 3-0, Mount SAC, they survive wacky week 3.
They survive and dominate WAC 3, in my opinion, here in Ventura College. They did such a great job on both sides of the ball. They're going to have to clean up those penalties for sure, as I'm sure Coach Jabs and the staff are going to let them hear it. A lot of penalty flags flying in this game. Fortunately, I should say, did not affect the score. Mount SAC just that dominant over the Ventura College Pirates, as the Mounties just are establishing themselves in this conference and just doing a great job on the defensive end. You mentioned the 13 sacks on Brady, the Ventura quarterback, and Stanton, his performance is just really washed out. He had a lot of yardage receiving with those screen passes and some more yardage, obviously, on the run as well. But, in the end, he didn't produce in the end zone. That's where it really matters in these types of games. And Mount SAC just doing a great job containing the Ventura run game and getting another win here on the young season, 27-3.
Well, it's just another Mountie victory, 27-3, the final tonight. Coming up in the post-game show, we're going to have our player of the game. We're going to have stats and a preview of next week's game against Chaffee College, as the Mount San Antonio College Mounties will look to go to 4-0 on the season. They win by a final score of 27-3 tonight at Ventura College. We'll be right back on the Mountie Radio Football Network.
Your presentation of national sports is brought to you by Spreaker.com. Broadcast and listen to news, radio, and music with one low monthly rate. Your show will be right back after this word from your local stations. You can contact National Sports in a number of ways, through Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter with the label National Sports. We love to have you guys a part of our show and can easily join us also through text or call. You're listening to the National Sports radio station on Spreaker.com. America's pastime of baseball is changing as we know it into a sport we've never seen before. Where is the game headed in the next few years? Major League correspondent Cameron Sadeghi has the answer to that question next on the National Sports radio station from Los Angeles, California.
Hi, this is Sam Rosen, and I'm here with Sam's Situation.
Good afternoon, and welcome into the corner. It's Chris's Corner here on Spreaker.com, a national sports affiliate.
Hello, and welcome to the Cameron Sadeghi Show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Deep Sports Talk. This is affiliated with National Sports.
Cameron Sadeghi, Chris Sylvester, Sam Rosen, Andrew Goldstein, Daniel Levy, and the entire broadcast crew with Commissioner Robert Dieters. You are live from National Sports Radio Station in Los Angeles, California. Live from Los Angeles, we thank you for listening to another presentation of the National Sports Radio Station on Spreaker.com. Who are the hot teams in the Major League Baseball season heading into the playoffs? Stephen Hughes is on tap and set to join us next on the National Sports Radio Station from Los Angeles, California.
Back here in Ventura, California, on the campus of Ventura College, where the Mounties moved to 3-0 on the season. The final score tonight over Ventura College of 27-3, another dominating effort by the Mountie defense. But this wasn't the only game going on around the JUCO SoCal football circuit. And Brian, you have some scores from around JUCO football here on this September 20th evening.
Yeah, like you mentioned earlier, Fullerton bouncing back after that tough loss at Mount SAC last week. They took care of Cerritos 24-21. College of the Canyons took care of Santa Ana 31-10 is your final also. Allen Hancock gets their first win of the season, 26-24 over Chaffee. the big one that everyone's been talking about,